Hello everyone. Today I will explain how to create a custom block for TrackMania Nations. This video will be divided in multiple parts. First of all, I will explain how to install the necessary tools. Then we'll get over extracting models from TrackMania DS or TrackMania.Wii. You can skip that part if you already have your model or if you want to use any model from elsewhere. Then I'll explain how to edit the block in Blender and finally how to export it to play it in the game. The first thing you need is Blender version 2.78. Other versions will not work. So you go to blender.org, you click on download, click on previous versions, then you click on download every version of Blender. You search for 2.78 in that big list, and then you choose the version corresponding to your operating system. For instance, if you have Windows 64 bits, you choose Blender 2.78 Windows 64. After that, you need the Blender plugin for exporting TrackMania blocks. So it should be in the zip file for TrackMania Nations, but if you've deleted that file, it's okay. You can just re-download it to at unlimiter.net/download. Then you get a zip file, you open it, and the Blender plugin is simply in the Blender plugin folder inside. So after that, you need to open Blender and then go to File, User Preferences, and go to the Add-ons tab, then click on Install from File. Then you locate the Blender plugin you just downloaded, and you make sure to enable it and click on Save User Settings afterwards. Okay, so now you need a TrackManiaWii ISO file, which I will not explain how to obtain due to legal reasons. Then you need to extract a file called vfs.zip from that ISO. You can do that using Wii Scrubber. I'll include a link in the descriptions, however I cannot show that for now. Then after extracting vfs.zip, you can just unzip it, then go to Graphics, then Tracks, then you choose your environment. For instance, here I can choose Stadium, so I'll go in STA folder. Then I have a lot of locks. However, these are all in a BRMDL format, which cannot be read by Blender. So we need a BRS viewer, which is a software that will help us see and then export these models so that Blender can read them. So after downloading BRS viewer, I'll put a link in the description, you can just open the BRMDL files with it. For instance, here I opened zeppelin.brmdl and you can see there's a Zeppelin model here. Then you can just click on model, export, then you can choose between MD5 or PSK. I'll choose MD5 here, then it can just save it somewhere. So now you can open your MD5 model using the MD5 opener extension for Blender. I'll put the link in the description as well. Then you don't need to extract model from TMDS now, except if you want to, but you can skip directly to editing the model. Extracting models from the DS version is quite similar to the Wii version. You need a TrackMania DS ROM, which I will not tell you how to obtain due to legal concerns. Then you need two programs, which are Nitro Explorer and Apicula. First you open Nitro Explorer, then you open the ROM in it, locate vfs.zip, export it, then you extract that zip, then navigate to Graphics, Tracks, then choose your environment. For instance, Stadium is STA. Then we have a ton of models in NSBMD file. To open that, we need Apicula. However, Apicula is a command line tool. So you need to open a command line window, then type cd space and then the path where Apicula is. Then press enter, then you type the command, apicula.exe, convert vfs/graphics/trek/your model file, space --output space /new. I will pass this command in the descriptions if you don't want to write it all over again. What this does is this basically tells Apicula to extract the model files into a new folder which is called new simply. Now we have these model files in DAE formats which Blender can open normally, so we don't need any extension whatsoever for that. Okay, so let's start editing now. So first of all, we want to get rid of the cube, the light and the camera, so basically everything in the default scene that Blender offers us. Then we want to change the UI a bit, just to make it easier, so we put a 3D view in the middle. Then we want the UV/image editor in the top right, and we do want the properties in the bottom right. If you want, you can also open a outliner in the left, which could be useful later. So now what we want to do is just open our model. So for instance, I can just take the Zeppelin model I extracted from TrackMania before. So the first thing you notice is there is a modifier model here. We can just delete it. Sometimes it moves other models, but doesn't seem to be the case here. So we notice in the left here that there is actually multiple meshes. We'll get to that a bit later, but first of all let's take the main one, which is the bigger one, and we open an image. So here I've bookmarked my TrackMania Nations Forever texture folder, and we want stadium or airship d.bds. And generally, when you open a texture from there, you want texture that end with D, because others are just masks that you don't actually see in game. So here I open it, and forgot to select, so you select everything, I forgot that, I can just reselect my image here. And then we don't see it applied yet, because we're not in texture mode, so we can just click there, click on texture, and there we go, we have a model. So you notice on the other models they are full white, which isn't necessarily good. Kind of depends what we want to do with our model. So for instance, this is black normally. However, I don't know the exact texture, so I'll just take a normal black texture and apply it like that. Also, I noticed the material name here is the exact same for both models. So generally you want different materials. For instance, here we can just create a new material, call it main, and we select everything here and we assign it. Same here with the other model, black. Select everything, assign. So now we can just remove this one. Now I can just remove this one. And you know, the other model seems fine in white, so I'll just let them untextured for now. This is more tutorial after all. So we want to select everything, then join. Then we have 3 materials, MD5 mesh, which is what we have not textured, main, which is the main body of the Zeppelin, and black, which is the black part. So now for the most important part, we want to select our main material, and we want to go in custom properties, remove that shouldn't exist, that's on my side. Then we have texture game, and for the value of this property we need to go on the TrackMania official material lists and we need to search our texture. So here we have texture name is stadium airship d.dds. So I can just type airship, and we have the material ID is stadium airship, simply. It's not always the case though. So I can just edit the property and put stadium airship, so that should be correct. However, now we have another property to add, which is collision, and the value completely depends on what you want to do. So for instance, if I want to do an ice zipline, I could put ice. Actually, I'll do that. I can just put ice. Other examples include turbo red, concrete, and many others. So now technically this material is good. Now we have to do this for the two other materials as well. Okay, so for the last material, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply it a custom texture just to show how it's done. So we can just open another texture that is not in the TrackMania Nations folder. So for instance, I have this one, which is just red. So now we have red a bit everywhere. So we go into custom properties, we add collision, same as before, ice. And then we add a new property which we'll call texture custom, which has as a value the name of our texture with the extension. So here the name is diffuse.dds. However, I'm gonna rename it later, so I'm just gonna call it like my red texture.dds, and there we go. So now that everything's right, we can just export it. So go to File, Export, TM Custom Block. Then we have on the left important parameters, which are the block ID. If the block ID is identical to another block, your block can get replaced by the other block, or the opposite, which isn't good. So here I'll just call it Zeppelin TMWii test. And the author, well, it's you. If you want, you can also change the spawn position, so the position the car will spawn on. I'll just let it to 0 since, well, I don't really care about that. And then you can just click export, and it should export without any errors. So there we go, we've done it. However, now let's show the model in game. Okay, so now here we placed our block in a folder in documents/trackmania/block. So here I placed it in new block. It has to be named model.block.gbx, else it's not detected. And if you want, you can put a JPEG of an icon next to it. I didn't do it because I didn't want to. And if we check in the textures folder, we do have my red texture.dds here, which is very important. So now let's open the game. So now we're in game, so let's just create a new track in Stadium. And if we go to custom blocks, we do have our Zeppelin here with the correct textures, so a pitch black texture here and the normal Zeppelin texture on the main body, and we do have our red custom texture on our untextured spots. So there we go, we did it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you.